So
in the fires of open prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue, Caribbean Sea. This our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place.
And may God bless our nation.
Morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. My name is Stephan Reis, and today we have a lot to discuss. A lot of things took place yesterday, and we will deal with that throughout the course of the day, or the morning rather, as we take it at 8 o'clock. So we're going to get to the news today, but I got to say good morning to our international audience, and of course those who are viewing us regionally, everybody that's on the Facebook page, STV Breaking Dawn. Good morning to you guys as well. Hope you're having a smooth morning. All right. I understand it have some rain up in the east. However, down in the west here in Port of Spain, no rain yet. All right, because if it's in the east, it's probably coming down. All right. Some things up for discussion this morning. The vendors, the Charlotte Street vendors, the Arima Market, laptop program, and more. And when I say and more, Rohan, Sinanan, everything. It's coming at you this morning. But before we deal with that, we want to let's take a look inside of the Newsday this morning. Front page of your Newsday. Help save my sight. Mom of 7 needs $80,000 for eye surgery. Wow. And TNT in major human trafficking bust. Wow. It's all happening. Help save my sight. A mother of 7 already blind in the left eye is pleading for help as she needs to raise $80,000 to pay for surgery to save her right eye where her vision is fading rapidly due to cataract. Not $1 for kidnappers, angry, frustrated, and depressed over his son's kidnapping. Port of Spain businessman Pharrell Coffey yesterday sent a strong message to the kidnappers who snatched his son, Darrell, last Wednesday. He said, quote, "I will not pay $1 red in ransom for my son's return." Pharrell also declared, "I'm not paying a ransom because if I pay for my son, I will have to pay ransom for my other son and my 2 daughters also." But I guess what he's saying is that, if you pay this ransom for this son, they might kidnap another son and you pay again, and daughters and pay again. But I think at this point in time, you should be, look, I don't know about this paying, I don't know if it's not paying at the ransom. Now, somebody kidnap your child, they call for a ransom, you can't put a price tag on your child. So, I don't know. I don't know. I understand where he's coming from, but I don't know, because if they decide to do the worst because you say you're not paying, what then? It doesn't stop them from kidnapping your other son or your daughters. You understand? If they decide to take his life because you didn't pay the ransom, you think because you didn't pay the ransom is going to stop them from taking another son or another daughter? These fellas do business out here, they'll come and snatch them the same way. But kidnapping like it's start back now. And yeah, it looks so. TT among 13 countries involved, 350 rescued from human trafficking. We've heard talks about this human trafficking taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. I myself have mentioned it in the past as being very real. But these are the things that we don't pay attention to. I think people don't understand. I was telling somebody this the other day, right? Everybody wakes up on a morning and they go out to work. And you go out to work to a world that you understand or live in, or you face on a daily basis, right? So, if you're an accountant, you go to the bank, right? Or, whatever work, or work similar to that of accounting. If you're a businessman, you go, you open your business. If you're a market vendor, you go on the street and you start up, right? But there are so many little worlds that exist within this one world. It's unbelievable. You have the drug world, the drug trade world. That's a whole different world, an element. Those of you having your average day and your regular day, you have no idea how different that is. Then you have the world of gangs and gang activity. And yes, the drug trade is part of that. Then you have human trafficking. You understand? And a host of other things. I was explaining somebody the other day. Right? And everybody just trying to exist in their own little world and not mind anybody else's business. And that's the problem. Alright? So human trafficking is very real. And the reason why I mentioned that people just go about their business in their own little world is because within that little world that exists for them, they don't pay attention to things like this until it happens to them or someone that they know. Then they're like, I didn't know this could have ever happened. I never thought this would happen. No, thought everything could happen. Because that's the world we live in. We live in a world where anything can happen on any given day. So when things like this happen, to be shocked is because you're wide awake in a dream. If you're shocked at certain things and certain articles that you read, it's because you're wide awake in a dream. You haven't faced reality yet. It didn't hit you in the face. You know what I mean? So you have people who living on the streets. They live in that's a totally different life. They live in their own little world too. You see how many different worlds you have? Nice, man. So you can take a read in that article on page 5. But wake up, wake up. Band leader Mackenzie not entitled to rent earnings. Sell legend ban room. That is the bacchanal between Mackenzie and Big Mike. 0.33 million for 7 men. The state has paid $337,483.29 for 7 men detained under the anti-gang legislation during the 2011 state of emergency. It was agreed the 7 will receive compensation for false imprisonment on condition that they withdraw their malicious prosecution case against the state. More bacchanal. Businesswoman on 2 fraud charges. I telling you. Thumbs up for Tobago Jazz Experience. What was the budget for that? Somebody called yesterday and asked that. What was the budget? They all thumbs up. Thumbs up, eh? But the general public right now would like to know what the budget was. And if the budget was anywhere near 16 or 15 million, what were the returns? Because this is business. And that's how I would like to think every taxpayer in this country when it comes to your money being spent to put on shows or anything like this. What are your returns? Tobago, thumbs up for Tobago Jazz Experience. Tobago House of Assembly Tourism Secretary Nadine Stewart Phillip yesterday gave the 2018 Tobago Jazz Experience a thumbs up. Speaking to Newsday, Stewart Phillip said, the show surpassed her expectations. She said, quote, I would say, is basically the Tobago Jazz Festival 2018 has indeed been an experience that was worth the wait, worth the price. And I am very thankful and pleased for the overall execution, she said. Worth the price, eh? Maybe the price of the ticket. How much money was spent? What was the budget for the Tobago Jazz Festival? And you all should recall to account to say these were the returns. So we spent 15 million and we make 18. So we know we make a $3 million profit. Or we spend 16 million but we only make 5. Which means a failure, financial failure. At a time when they say we're in a recession and things hard and the economy this and the economy that. So I would really, really like to know that. Because if Carnival could come and they could cut back on Soca Monarch and Chutney Soca Monarch and all these shows because your pocket bleeding and the treasury no money and the last government thief out all and all this nonsense always be talking and give our local artists next to nothing for competing in shows of that magnitude, I would like to know what Neo, Taurus Riley, Fantasia, and all the other international acts that came to the Tobago Jazz Festival and were paid handsomely. I want to know what the returns were. Because if I bring Neo to Trinidad and Neo charge me $5 million or $3 million and I sell tickets and I do not pack the stadium or whichever venue I decide I choose to throw that concert, from a business aspect, I have lost. Which means the concert was failure. Understand? Same way, if I spend my money and Neo say 3 million and I put him up in a hotel and he and you will entourage and I fly them in. And I sell it off. And from the 3 million and all the other expenses, let me say it come up to 5 point something million, 6 million. Let's call in a figure. And I make back 12, that's a success. So I want the people, the Tobago Tourism, the THA Tourism Secretary, Nadine Stewart Phillip, to understand what is success. Right? Profit and loss. That's the difference between success and failure. So all you come forward and say how much money all you make. Pundit and lecturer warns parents, beware tech addiction in children. All you now talking that? I talking that since 2000 and whenever. Since 2008, I told them, I was on radio at that point in time. And I said, this world of technology is going to pollute the minds of the next generation. I said that on radio in 2008 on 104.7. I was doing a morning show there, called The Lighter Side with Mr. Voice. And I said that. I said the age of technology is going to be the downfall of the next generation. So said, so done. I see that a mile away coming. We in 2018 and Pundit now talking that. 12-year-old boy raped. Too much public scrutiny. Mom in chopping attack, now in private ward. The central mother whose right hand was chopped off in a bloody attack 2 weeks ago has been moved to a private ward at the San Fernando General Hospital. The move is aimed at shielding her from visitors who have been chastising her for not pressing charges against her 15-year-old son, who was released from police custody last week. Now, what I want to find out, you see that particular issue there before we go further, before we take the break? Then you have the Alsing rejects corruption claim, Kamala wrong. OWTU wants, anyhow, you see all these things? I want to deal with that. We have a situation in this chopping incident with this mother. We have a serious problem. Because I sat down and I studied yesterday, right? The boy don't want to talk. He not talking. How do we know the boy did it? Or, you know, because right now he allegedly did it, if you ask me. Because there is no evidence to suggest that he picked up the cutlass and chopped off his mother's hand. Nor is there evidence to suggest that he then delivered blows to the back of her neck. So, as far as I'm concerned, there is no story that I've read, no news reported in the media that can clearly indicate that this boy did it. Right? But everybody is speaking to that. Well, the boy need this, and the boy need counseling, and the boy need that, and the boy need that, and they need to psychologically evaluate the boy. How come? How come? And I've laid a scenario here that I think is very, very realistic. Because I've said, and I'm still saying, I do not think, I personally, I can't see it. I can't see this 15-year-old boy. Not the pictures I saw on WhatsApp of this mother being chopped, I cannot see it, boy. Don't care how I play this scenario to me, I can't see it. So I wanted to go back and see how it was established that the 15-year-old boy chopped off his mother's hand, right? And if I had to go back and look for that, then I had to go back to the first story, which would have been on the 20th, right? And look at the story here. I'm going back to the original story. April 20th, Friday, April 20th. A 15-year-old boy, a 15-year-old Form 3 presentation college student, in a fit of rage yesterday, chopped off his mother's right hand and then chopped her several times on the back of the neck after an argument at their Waterloo home. The teen was in school uniform. Well, they say with blood splattered over his shirt, so that's probably evidence. Was found in a daze at the nearby Waterloo cremation site while being escorted to a police van. He began weeping and told police he was sorry. He said, I did it because my mother took away my cell phone the night before and I found it was unfair. The boy was taken to the Brasso police station, which has a detention center for juveniles. Okay? Now, it's clearly states here, right? He said, quote, I did it because my mother took away my cell phone the night before and I found it was unfair, end quote. Open the phone line for me. Who he said that to? The media or the police? If he said that, has he not already admitted to committing the act? And if so, how is he released and sent back home? Because look at here in the article, and I just wanted to pull that up this morning. It says, I did it because my mother took away my cell phone the night before, and I found it was unfair. That's what he said. That's what the article said he said. Morning. Look at right there. Magnify that part there. He said. Morning. Yeah, morning. Good morning. I can hardly hear the caller. I can't hear the caller. Hello? Next caller. 622-978-5628-69. I just want to take 2 or 3 calls on this. The boy was at his Butler Village Kaipachaima home with his mother, who is a nurse, and early yesterday, when they argued over the decision to take away his cell phone, the teen took a cutlass and chopped off her right hand at the wrist. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
Stephan?
Yeah, man.
You know what happened?
Go ahead.
This country will remain a backward country until I know when God comes. You understand? Because I can't see the things what has been going on in this country. If they have no law, everybody moving backward when the other world going forward.
Yeah.
Eh? What really going on in this country? After that kind of crime, you go tell me the boy just released just so. The mother still in the hospital fighting up. Evidence the boy say as it is. But everybody now forget what happened to the mother. And they just try to make the boy look like somebody, you understand me? I really can't understand what really going on in this country. That is why we will remain a backward country all the days of our life.
All right.
You understand? That boy is supposed to release Jeto.
Yeah.
He's supposed to pay for some kind of, put some way, pay for something. You can't just chop out just imagine your own mother hand and nearly kill you.
Exactly.
And nothing with that.
Yeah.
What are you going on?
I can't understand what's going on in this matter. All right. Yeah, man. I hear you. Right. And this is the original story here. This is the first story that was printed. This is the initial story. Morning.
Hi, morning.
Morning to you.
Breaking Dawn?
Yes, dear, you're live. Go ahead.
I think it's the father, because he's the only one making all these statements and stuff like that. Out of nowhere, he appeared.
Well, you know, I was thinking along those lines, but now that but you see, when you go back to the story, and they said he told police he was sorry. He apologized for the act. He told the police, I'm sorry, and I did it because my mother took away my cell phone. This is what he said. This is what the article says here. This is what I'm reading here. Put it up in the print and you'll see it there. Now the father, right, he then chopped her several times on the back of the neck. As he left the house, his father met him and asked why he was not at school and why his clothes were soiled. And the boy did not respond but rode off on his bicycle. Good? When his father went upstairs to the bedroom, he found his wife semi-conscious and bleeding. With her severed hand on the floor, he called a neighbor who put the hand in a bag of ice. The injured woman, a nurse for several years, told her neighbor and husband what to do to stop the bleeding. And she was taken to San Fernando Hospital, treated and warded in a critical condition. Now, You see, the things that don't add up to me, right? Well, take the call. I'll try to find it here. Yeah, morning.
Hello?
Yeah, morning.
Hello? Morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Very faint on the phone you're coming across, eh? I think that act, it is too brutal for that I will consider him a child to do. I can't see a child, maybe if it was one strike, he will get frightened and run away. I can't see a child doing that sort of brutal act and continuing the act on his own mother in that manner. This matter really needs to be investigated further.
Yeah.
And we really need to have some, real, they need to, if they can't do it here, bring in some foreigners, bring in people with expertise who could really investigate this matter. Because,
yeah,
as I said, this child can't do that. He cannot. I cannot see any child. You watch the boy eyes, I can't see that in it. I mean, looks, doesn't really tell much of a story.
Yeah.
Not that sort of brutal act.
But
not that sort of child who is going to a college who is supposed to be, he looks like an intelligent child.
Yeah, but caller.
I don't think so. Not that brutality. There needs to be investigated further.
All right. Cool. Caller. All right, he gone. I wanted to find out from him if he saw the pictures. Because anybody who saw those pictures, you go think twice. And no, I'm telling you, I ain't pointing fingers at anybody, go think twice. Police led by Sergeant Boxer, including PC Gibson, interviewed the boy's father. This is next line. Who told them his son had been acting strangely within recent weeks, and they suspected he was using drugs. This is the father saying this. The father then continued to say his cell phone was taken away as punishment, but his father expressed regret over the move and believes his wife would not be fighting for her life if they had not done so. And I condemned him for making that statement. You see, I don't know. He tells the police he is sorry. And he goes on to say, I did it because my mother took away my cell phone the night before. And I found it was unfair. The only other thing I'm not seeing in this article that may be of assistance is what time this took place. What time? Was this in the morning time? Before school? Because the father is saying, he come and he asks him, why you're not in school? And why your clothes soiled? Why your clothes soiled? An incident like that, the amount of blood you go have on you. Why your clothes soiled? You must know what blood look like. I mean, I don't understand. And the next thing I'm trying to figure out too, right? They say a lawyer went in. The lawyer advised the 15-year-old boy, you don't have to say a word. And yesterday it dawned on me. The police cannot interview, or at least I think so. If anybody is aware of the law, remember on the 16th of this month, we're going to have qualified police officers here to answer questions that and your concerns pertaining to the law and the daily, daily stuff that you go through. But the police cannot interview a 15-year-old boy in the absence of his parents, not so? A parent must be present, right? And if that's the case, if the police decided to question him, then one of his parents would have had to have been present, and it couldn't be the mother because she lying in the hospital. So I'm saying, did the father advise him not to talk? Is the father okay with him not talking about it? Morning.
Good morning, Stephan. How are you?
Yeah, morning.
Stephan, this young man, he truly needs to have a psychological evaluation. The parents and each one of them needs counseling.
Right.
Because this child, originated probably for a long time period. And that this was just, the zenith of what the explosion occurred from the emotional and the mental status of this child. And the parents, every parent loves their children. That's not a question.
Right.
But loving means discipline. And discipline does not mean, condemnation. But discipline truly means helping a child, even in the darkest days. So I truly hope that the authorities, the community, come forth and assist the parents, and the parents are willing to be open to this assistance, Stephan.
Okay.
And may God bless you and your viewers.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
And I agree with all of that. Morning.
Good morning, Stephan.
Good morning to you.
When this incident happened, you had a call in on the same incident, right?
Yeah.
And I remembered calling in, and I'll tell you the same thing. When the people in Point 14 were brutally murdered, the 4 people,
yeah,
right, there were no witnesses. But the police came in, they investigated, and they apprehended someone. Right? There were no witnesses at that point. How is it that in this situation, those people died, right, in Point 14? All 4 were dead. In this incident now, didn't the police come in there and check for fingerprints, look for the weapon, and all these things? Wasn't that process followed?
Yeah.
Because the grandmother was there. You seen the grandmother walking around. The father came. There's a long article. You just read it. All these things were done.
Right.
How come now you have to wait for the mother to press charges?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's there in the article, you know.
Something
He said,
so cruel and so violent.
he said, I did it because...
Well, this is what I pointed out 2 weeks when you first ran this thing. Why is it you have to wait for the mother to say yes or no? And this brings me back now to Faris and the kids.
Right.
The parent protecting the child.
Right.
Parents protecting their children. And the law has to be above this.
That's right.
Nobody should be waiting for the mother. The woman's hand was on the floor somewhere. So what? Did something fall off the ceiling and chop off her hand?
Yeah.
Somebody did it, and the police had a right to be in there. Where is the weapon? Was the weapon confiscated? Did they check it for fingerprints?
Did they check it for fingerprints? Yeah.
Did they come in there? Did they look around? What happened? Did any police come at the scene and do an investigation? All these things had to be taken into evidence. Who did the checking at that point and collecting the evidence?
Yeah.
So we can't wait for the mother. That is a cruel, cruel act that took place there. And that child needs to be in St. Anne's or somewhere, because they cannot, and I've said this, they can't take him and put him back in that class next to my son.
Exactly.
You understand? Because if something happens now, who are you going to blame? You're going to say, well, if and if and if.
Exactly.
Something has to be done, and they better open their eyes. And the mother, yes, it's your child. You want to protect him, but you have to protect him from us. Protect us, from him. And the law has to do that for me.
All right.
Okay, bye.
All right, so we got to take a break. But I have to, I mean, I hope you understand where I'm coming from this morning, eh? Put up the line again. Put up that paragraph again from the article. He said, let's pull it up. Boy chops off mom's hand. He said, I did it. I did it because my mother took away my cell phone the night before. I did it is a confession. So is it that he says he admits to committing the act when you hold him, when you come to the house to hold him, but in questioning him, he says nothing. So what happened to the fact that he said, I did it when you arrested him? Is that true now? Does that not count? Is that not some form of a confession? And if so, how is he released? Because the mother has not given a statement? So what about the father? If the mother is not in a position to make a statement, is the father as the parent not in a position to take action? I mean, I just ask him questions here, because if I am married to a woman, or I am with a woman, and that's the child, the mother of my child, we have a child together, and I come home, and my child commit an act like that, and I see my wife's hand cut off, and the police come and arrest my child, I am sorry. I might put up with a lot of things from my child, but my child ain't coming back in my house. I am going to have a problem with that as the husband. That's what you do to your mother? Nah. Children that get licks for far less and get disciplined for far less. But then again, you know, I don't know, because obviously the father, I don't know, because the father is, even in the article here, he said he think it was a mistake taking away the phone, because if he didn't take away the wife wouldn't have been in the hospital. Which I totally condemn that statement. And this is disturbing to say the least. I can't let this go. This incident here, unless it is properly investigated and there are some sort of consequences to this action, this cannot be like the 9-day syndrome that we just go through with every other topic and every other issue. I'm sorry. I will continue to ask questions about this every single morning. Because you know what? 2 days from now or a week from now, we're going to have another incident with some youth, some teenager. You understand? And we go on to condemn the teenager for committing whatever act or doing whatever. But then again, how could we fault them when we're not setting the proper example in terms of how we react or the consequences pertaining to certain actions that people commit? What example we setting for them? We practically telling them you could do this and get away with it. The same way that the Waterloo students in the Jesse B. Pan incident, they've gone away with that. We could potentially commit a murder. A murder could be committed and you could get away with it. So when the murder rate is 200 in 100 days, we shouldn't be complaining. All you understand what I'm telling all you? When school children fighting in the road for next to nothing and want to kill each other, we shouldn't be complaining. And the first thing we want to abolish is start in the home. No. The system does not work. The system does not work. And I had to mention someone was telling me yesterday, no, because it's true. How come in a matter like this, as serious as this, such serious nature, the system cannot work? The system is not allowed to carry out its natural self. Right? That, okay, this is the process. This act was committed, and this is the process. We have to get in there and investigate this. But if a man park up in the road, on the wrong side of the road, it a police that gave him a ticket, and he could go and pay that. That process working. It works so much to the point that police come out at a specific time of the month to ensure they hand out a certain amount of tickets. That process working. And then you go to the court, you pay the court, or you go to court to challenge your ticket, and there's a process. Good? And that process works. But what about when a murder is committed? What about the detection rate? What about these things? Why that system not working properly? And these are things we need to talk about, man, because something is wrong. When a 15-year-old boy could allegedly chop off his mother's hand and then attempt to murder his mother over a cell phone and then be released back into the house. We have a problem. That's a huge problem. Well, I don't know that. And I'm sorry I had to take up so much time doing this before I take the first break, but this is a serious problem. Let me take a break.
Prostat, the ultimate prostate formula with standardized herbal extracts used by thousands of men to ensure optimum prostate health and alleviate symptoms related to an enlarged prostate or BPH. Available at leading pharmacies and online at tntdrugstore.com.
This is Tactical Enterprise, leading wholesalers for all cell phone accessories, cell phone armored cases, OtterBox cases, tempered glass, memory cards, headphones, chargers, flash drives, and more. Located in Canupia, Trinidad, they supply cell phone store owners wherever they are, in Trinidad and Tobago or across the Caribbean. If you want to get high quality cell phone accessories at the lowest price, then check out Tactical Enterprise in Canupia. They work with and supply small, medium, and large retailers. So give them a call at 716-2900 or email them at tacticalenterprise@hotmail.com. They offer free delivery to any part of Trinidad and Tobago. Tactical Enterprise.
This June, we on the Harbour Master, C3 Marina.
By then, fellas, this real June's about, right? Looking good, boy. Yeah, we get tickets for that, boy? I know, that should talk about and see and what fella, you know. Whoa! I'm looking for tickets for Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise, boy. What you can do for me? I mean, they can't get no tickets. Alright. Nah, boy. See if you could call a friend of mine. Hello? Yeah, you. What's that? You could get tickets for Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise? Nah, don't tell me that, man. Alright, cool. Nah, boy, fresh out.
Don't worry. I had it in.
Breaking Dawn the Cooler Cruise, June 17th. Link up with any committee member to get your tickets now. Visit us on Facebook at Breaking Dawn the Cooler Cruise.
What's your hand? I don't know he. I'm spelling.
This ad brought to you by Hennessy, Ciroc, and Signs Are Us.
Introducing Real Talk, hosted by Saheed Ali, businessman and spiritual consultant. Every weeknight from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Real Talk gives a voice to you, the public, on issues such as crime, politics, domestic violence, drugs, gang warfare, social development, humanitarian help, and lots more. This program is geared towards making an impact on the lives of our viewers. So tune in, join Saheed Ali and his guests every weeknight from 7:30 to 8 p.m. for Real Talk, right here on Synergy TV, Real TV. Famous Advanced Formula Laundry Detergent, specially formulated to lift dirt and stains, whiten and brighten, remove odors, and leave your laundry with a long-lasting freshness. Famous is great for hand and machine washing and is safe and gentle to the environment. Famous Advanced Laundry Detergent comes in 3 great smelling formulas: fresh scent, lavender, and lemon. Make your next day a famous day with Famous Advanced Formula Laundry Detergent. And introducing Famous Baby Diapers with unique elastic waistband, cottony soft top sheet, and multi-channel quick absorbent core. Ultra thin and soft Famous Baby Diapers and Wipes, manufactured for and distributed by Family Mart Limited and available nationwide.
Chin-Sin seasoning products have been flavoring all of TNT's local cuisine since 1982. Chin-Sin introduces its No MSG line of products. Now you can use No MSG chicken seasoning, No MSG all-purpose seasoning, and No MSG poultry seasoning. Chin-Sin seasoning products are available in all leading supermarkets nationwide. Chin-Sin, same quality, great taste.
All right, on the phone here with the GM. No, well, you know you heard the topic I was talking about just now, right? All right. And it really bothered me. Now, I don't want to do it, but I asked him permission. Okay? Because, you know you sent me some pictures, right? and I'm saying that I think people not understanding the kind of, the brutality of the crime. We done here already? You think it's a little too gruesome to show? It's too gruesome to show. All right, no. All right, way too gruesome for morning TV. All right, no problem. All right, cool. Yeah. So I was on the phone with the GM here, seeing if I could, you know, because I think people need to see the pictures, you know. But you see, I want you to understand this, eh? I think for people to really come out and call on some sort of I don't know. It had to have some kind of movement, not just for this situation, but all situations, to be dealt with. And I'm saying, until people actually see the gruesome crime that was committed, I don't think they will really understand, you know. Yeah, that gruesome act that was committed by someone, allegedly the 15-year-old boy. I don't think people are going to get, they wouldn't understand fully what he was released. You see, we just released somebody that committed an act. And that act that was committed have some pictures that go with it. And if you have not seen those pictures, you're not going to understand what the boy walking away from. You understand? Boy, I don't know, boy. Open the phone line now, open the phone line. I have a lot of things to talk about, you know, but you see this one bothered me a lot, and it should bother everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. Alright? Because he was released back to his home without a proper psychological evaluation. And I'm saying, if he says, I'm sorry when the police reach, he ain't mad. If he was mad, how we know to say sorry when the police reach? How we know to apologize when the police reach? Because he knows he's done something wrong. And if the article there says, he said, I did it, because it's frightening, you know. It's really frightening. I tell you all of that. Take two calls now. 15 minutes to the hour, 7 o'clock. I want to deal with the Charlotte Street vendor issue and some other things we had to deal with this morning, but this must not be allowed to go away. And I want people to understand that. This is your mother, Dread. Your mother, boy, who grew you from small, feed you, take care of you when you were sick. You understand what I'm saying? This is to come and act like that to your mother, boy, who probably buy the cell phone for you too. You understand what I'm telling you? Something wrong, something wrong, something wrong, something wrong. Something wrong. Hello? I hear all in the back there, loud out here. Yeah. No. Well, the GM said too gruesome for morning TV. I don't think we should show it blurred. What? Well, open the phone line and take a couple calls in the meantime now. Let me see how blurred it is. Send it to me. Send it to the general manager. And if the GM say it pass up, all right, that could work. Right. Send it to me. Right? Because I might say, and then, you know, because, you know, sometimes we do things on morning TV, and then, oh gosh, is a set of phone call, you know. So anyway, like I said, let me deal with defenders. Let me just come off that for 1 second here and deal with defenders. So, and then we'll come back to this. As soon as if I get the pictures approved, now that it's been edited and blurred, and, you checking it? Let him check it now, because people need to see what was done in order to understand what we're dealing with or what we're not dealing with. You know? But in the meantime, we could take some calls. Huh? All right. Well, take the call, 622-9785, 628-6093. I want to know if people... Morning.
Yeah, morning, I call back, Stephan.
Yeah, man.
Because like you, I myself disturbed about what this thing will happen. Now, if you let back a boy like that in the school,
yeah,
you know, between children, some one of them might make something. He could walk with something and do some damage to them children.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have to watch at this thing right or wrong. You know. You understand? Because if you could have a rage like that,
yeah, I understand
you
what you're
are
saying.
supposed to be between them, you are children.
Yeah. And that's the next thing.
And I find some people not opening their mouth and talking about this thing.
Yeah.
They are very dangerous thing.
Yeah, this is a big problem, yeah.
It's a big problem.
Yeah, man.
Is that some people taking this thing and quiet, and they're hardly they want to open their mouth and talk about this thing.
Yeah.
But it's a serious thing. If I have a son like that, he come back in my house.
All right. Cool. Yeah, all right. So after that, thanks a lot, caller. What you're saying in the back there? He said, okay. Okay. If you have not seen the pictures, it blurred. Oh, you're sending it to me on my phone. All right. All of this, let me check my phone here. I'm sorry, yeah? But we had to block it. I can't show the raw thing, but right, that's the mother there. That's the hand that was chopped off. But that picture with the mother there, with the head, you would have seen all the, for those of you on WhatsApp and stuff, the pictures, you would have seen some massive chop wounds. Take it down. It brutal. It's boy, I don't know what to say now, boy. That's your mother, boy. You know the hard part, and you know why this bothering me? Mother's Day is in a couple of weeks.
Days.
Yeah.
Next 12 days. That is the first time.
You think you go into the hospital to say Happy Mother's Day? Think about that. No, think about it. Mother's Day is coming up. I don't know. Morning.
Morning, Stephan. How you going?
Yeah, man.
Stephan, there's a saying that goes, if you fail to deal with a little problem today, you'll have to deal with a bigger problem tomorrow. That fella didn't get up that morning and decide he's going to chop up his mother. He was allowed in that home to choops, to give back chat, to argue, to quarrel, and they tolerated it until it reached this situation where it is now. If parents fail to discipline their children the way they're supposed to be doing it and handle every scenario as something that could lead to another thing and don't stop it, you'd have to deal with situations like this on a regular basis. And concerning where the law is concerned with this scenario here, in other places, the DPP office would take over the scenario and make a judgment if this fellow should be held and be able to stand trial and decide whether or not the situation is serious enough to be stand as an adult, to be tried as an adult Because in many cases in America and all over the place, children who are under the age of 18 who committed acts like this were tried as adults, placed, when they are convicted, they spend the time in juvenile, and then when they reach the age of 18, they were transferred to the adult prisons and made to serve out the rest of the sentence.
Right.
So this is just showing where the DPP and the Attorney General Office is a failure in this country in many, many occasions. Enjoy the rest of your morning, Stephan. Take care.
Yeah, man. I now got a message here from St. Vincent. The person is saying this is a St. Vincent viewer. Good morning, I'm watching from St. Vincent, and that issue is madness. And I don't think that is the correct way to deal with this issue. Mind you, I'm not telling anyone how to run their home, but if it was my home, he couldn't come back in my place. Morning.
Stephan, you said some of us will be there on the 16th to get to answer all the legal questions the public might have and things. So I'll just assist you a little bit, right? I'm sure when my colleagues come, there'll be more, there'll be more forthcoming and educational. I'll just tell you something about juvenile interaction. You remember we had this conversation before with respect to the young man who was killed down in South and he had his father.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I explained to you what we have in place in terms of juveniles. Now remember what we would have done is we would have passed the Children's Act and we would have amended several pieces of legislation in that one sweeping act, right? And what we have established now is the juvenile criminal procedure rules, just as when you have with adults. Good? Now all the evidence that has come forth so far in the public domain is circumstantial evidence. In North America and speaking about Canada and the US here, they are allowed, the police investigating matters like these are allowed plenty latitude with respect to circumstantial evidence.
Okay.
Remember, their system is different. They have something called a grand jury and so on, where they will prevent evidence to the grand jury, and the grand jury will now sift through and say, well, yes, based on what we see in here, we have enough evidence to go forward with an indictment because of the seriousness of this crime.
Right.
In addition to that, they also have legislation where they charge minors as adults for some category of offenses.
Okay.
Starting with murder, manslaughter, serious woundings, sexual offenses involving the peers and other children and so on, and certain crimes like arson, well, we call it larceny, but they call it theft and so on, malicious damage, right?
Right.
Based on the gravity, the value, and the damage to property and so on. We, in our wisdom, did not do that when we passed the Children Act, okay? So, a child, and we have something in our law called doli in capax. Doli in capax is a Latin phrase to say that incapable of crime. And in our jurisdiction, there is a child under 10 years. You hear what I'm saying? A child under 10 years. Now remember, we have defined child all the way up to somebody who is under the age of 18.
Right.
Get it? Which is madness. Right?
Yeah.
And we did that to satisfy the requirements of the legislation of the Children Authority Act. Good?
Okay.
So, with respect to the public's frustration, I heard the lady caller who asks about all the facts and everything. Those are facts, but they're not evidence.
Evidence
that will meet
and
the
facts.
standard
Right.
to prosecute and successfully convict someone. That is the problem we have. We are the most legal and lawful system throughout the entire Commonwealth, I'm telling you. But
Right.
in terms of getting justice, we do not have that. Right?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If that offense had happened in Tobago, remember the child now under the Children's Act has to go in a separate cell. That person, that perpetrator in Tobago would have had to have been flown to a station where he could be held as a juvenile. And the only one in the East-West corridor, and my colleagues will enlighten you further, is the new St. Joseph station. He was in Brasso because Brasso is the only station in that part of the country that is so equipped.
Yeah.
Because if you do not do that, that case down the drain. All his attorney has to go, the attorney provided under the duty counsel system, under the legal aid authority, all they has to go and say is, hey, my client was kept here and so on. Then remember earlier on, right, when a lawyer was retained, they said duty counsel, and they said that the police went to interview him first. the council advised him to invoke his right to silence.
Right.
And he did so. Once an accused person, once you, Stephan Reis, invokes your right to silence, all you have to say is, I'm not answering that. That's all you have to need to sit down in the room and say. So,
right.
in the face of that, how can you get any evidence to present to Mr. DPP, his department, to satisfy them that, hey, I want a charge raised for this crime? And that is the problem we have.
And that's the problem.
That is the problem in a nutshell. Right? So, we need to look at charging minors as adults for certain crimes they commit. And we need to do away with dolai income tax. Because the only human being I would say would be incapable of crime is I'm sorry, is somebody who cannot speak. And that is a month-old, weeks-old baby. Once they could speak and have an understanding of right and wrong, he should be charged. You remember there was a case in the States where a 5-year-old was charged with shooting his 3-year-old sibling with a firearm?
Yeah.
And that is why, because you go to the quality of the act and you know what I mean, and the outcome now, it might seem tyrannical, but we have to get real. Right? So I understand the public's frustration. But at the end of the day, law enforcement hands are tied. They must go through a stage and step process to bring the young person before you could. I understand your frustration as well. I am frustrated as well as a law enforcement official. But this is the environment we have to work in, and this is all that we have to do. All we have to do is go back and fix it. But I'm sorry, in the climate of our parliament now, I am not seeing that. And all the human rights people will come forward and talk about the rights of the child and so on and so on.
But
and this is the problem that people are not understanding. We have a lot to do, and it has a lot to do with the quality of detection and why detection is where it is. Too much laws that tie the people who are supposed to try to bring relief to the general public out their hands. Thank you, brother. I hope I've been able to enlighten you.
Man. Thanks a lot for the input. All right, so that's terrific input there from someone in law enforcement who watches the program. I've heard his contributions on many occasions, especially when it comes to that. And as we prepare to go to the break, I want to let you know that on May 16th, like I said, and I'm informing you guys now, because, you know, we have a lot of questions that are asked on this program, and we're not going to be dealing with high-profile cases. We're dealing with normal day-to-day activity and things that you find yourself in, like you get a ticket for talking on a cell phone, not wearing your seatbelt, speeding, breathalyzer, parking on the wrong side of the road, and other issues. Police in the execution of their warrant in particular situations. Any questions that you have, I am asking that you email those questions to stvbreakingdawn@gmail.com. That is stvbreakingdawn@gmail.com. Because on May 16th, we are starting a segment where I've spoken to Miss Ellen Lewis, the head of communications to the TTPS, and every Wednesday from May the 16th, from 7 to 7:30 a.m., we will have a qualified police officer in studio to answer the questions that you want answered, as it relates to the laws and so on and so forth. So we're moving towards that model because I think that people are not properly informed in Trinidad and Tobago, myself included. I'll admit that. There are certain laws that I may not be, you know, informed about, and I might want to know myself. So from May 16th, and every Wednesday continuing, we will have a qualified police officer in studio for a new segment that we're having from 7 to 7:30 on a Wednesday. All right? And if you have questions, you have an issue, something happened to you in the past, something happened to you in the present, send the email to stvbreakingdawn@gmail.com. And when we go through the emails and we see the questions and the problems that you guys have faced, we'll put it to the officer, and they will give us their input and direct us properly on how to move forward in accordance to the law. Okay? Right. We also have a lawyer coming as well. All right, nice. We also have a lawyer coming. That's another issue. Right, that's another segment. We have a lawyer coming to advise the public on issues that they need ironed out, any issue that you have. We have a lawyer that will be in studio. That's a totally different segment to advise you on what you could do. All right? So we're moving towards that. So I'll tell you what, we've got to take a break. When we return, we will get to the Charlotte Street vendors because, lo and behold, They got the nod to return to Charlotte Street event yesterday after a stakeholder meeting. And I also want to let you guys know that we have some giveaways courtesy Daryl's Famous Food. We have some giveaways for the mothers for Mother's Day with Daryl's Famous Food. All right, want to thank Daryl's for coming on board and making these giveaways possible. And the outlets, all right, the outlets that people have been asking about is Sangre Grande, Andre Street and Foster Road, Valencia, Arima, Tunapuna, San Juan, Gulf City, Princeton, Faizabad, Rio Claro, Mayaro, Crown Point, and Tobago. Those are the outlets. So for those who have been asking, but where the outlets located, there you have it. All right? Daryl's, I need one in tongue, you know. I like my fried chicken. All right, so I tell you what, we're going to be back after this. Stay tuned.
At Green Dot, we're providing solutions for you. And to thank you for your loyalty, we're offering you $50 off when you refer a friend to any of our services. That's right, you get $50 off your bill for every referral you make. The more you refer, the more you receive. To find out more, call 224-GDOT or visit gd.tt today. Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives. Conditions apply.
Hey, have you heard of the Daryl's Famous Food 3 T's? The 3 T's? Yes, at every Daryl's Famous Food location, come get Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Daryl's Famous Food. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Daryl's Famous Food. Yes, at every Daryl's Famous Food outlet, come and get a Thai and fries for $10 every Tuesday. This is a limited time offer.
Nabi's Medical Marketing, the one-stop shop for all your surgical and medical supplies. Presently specializing in pharmaceutical, medical, and home healthcare supplies. Nationwide distributors for pharmacies, private and public hospitals. Fully stocked showroom with a complete range of home healthcare products. Wheelchairs, walkers, hospital beds, and more. Sole distributors for the Cook medical range of products, including in vitro fertilization products, invasive as well as minimal invasive lines throughout the Caribbean. Currently supplies all IV solutions and dialysis products. Also available life support oxygen concentrators, nebulizers, and much more. Now exclusive at Nabi's. Our latest addition, the new 6-in-1 mini lab, which can be used professionally or in the privacy of your home. Tests include glucose, total cholesterol, cholesterol HDL, cholesterol LDL, triglycerides, and hemoglobin. These machines are life-saving. Visit our showroom at number 5 to 6 Harris Street, Curep. Telephone 645-5577 or 662-7533. Nabi's, a company with 40 years of experience in the medical field.
The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Your original one-stop school shop. Your number one choice for the widest variety of top quality stationery, school books and bags, school shoes and socks, and ready-made uniform. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited is also authorized retailers for a wide range of top brand name products. They're also the home for Sebastian school shirts and pants. Quality you can depend on for generations. And nobody, I mean nobody beats their prices. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited, with 2 locations to serve you. Number 1, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro. Telephone 644-BOOK. That's 644-2665. And number 3, Guaguari Road, Mayaro. Phone 630-BOOK or 630-2665. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Ready to serve you because you are an exceptional customer that deserves exceptional quality, price, and service.
Welcome to Regal Products, a household name since 1960. Regal produces a diverse range right here in TNT, all with the primary focus on high quality. From healthy and tasty nuts and snacks, including cranberries, raisins, sultanas, dates, and prunes, to trail mixes like Cranberry Jubilee, Hawaiian Medley, California Exotic, and South Beach, with nutrition-packed seeds like sunflower and pumpkin, and a tasty nut range which includes almonds, pecans, walnuts, peanuts, cashews, and the newly launched corn nuts. Regal Products for superb flavor, excellent quality, and affordable prices. Available at all leading supermarkets across Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
So we're going to speed things up inside the second hour. I want to remind you guys, don't forget, well, Mr. Voice is here. We'll get to him momentarily. But I want to remind you guys, don't forget the Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise is on. And you can get your tickets for June 17, Father's Day. Just call me on 327-7400. That's the number to call for tickets now if you want to advertise with Breaking Dawn. People calling me, taking it is Synergy's number. And saying, hey, I was here and you're talking. No, when I leave here, I be on the road and it's down to the work on the ground. And that number is specifically for tickets. If you want to get your tickets to the Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise, you can call that number. In the meantime, those are the other numbers that you could call there on the screen. Those are the other committee members. Mr. Voice, Jaron, Shane, Nessa. All right? They all have tickets. In the meantime, as we mentioned that, I just want to reiterate, don't forget Daryl's Famous Food, right? Your taste of the Caribbean. Yeah. All right? Tasty Caribbean in a box, what I said. They got the $10 Thai and fries on a Tuesday, and they are also doing some giveaways here on Breaking Dawn, and you have a chance to win special prizes and gifts for mom in time for Mother's Day.
Have you?
All right? So you're getting the opportunity to win some special prizes and gifts for mom for Mother's Day. If you're trying to call now for tickets to the boat right now, it's not the right time because I'm still on the air. All right, so Voice, what's going on?
I'm good. Good morning. Good morning. This is actually for you. There you go. As a brother, I saw that. And the only thing is I did not have a gift bag, so I had also used what I had.
Bougie.
What are you calling her for?
Because yesterday we showed the video with the man proposing. And now you come to, will you come to do here? I tell you.
Give me back my thing.
Give it to me. Good, right.
You could open it. Open the thing. It's something there, at least somebody.
No spider, no cockroach inside here. And
that's what you're afraid?
Yeah, boy. Oh. Yeah, man. I want just like this home. This exact same tie. Thanks.
Yeah, the exact same tie.
Exact same tie. That's not what
I bought you a tie because I
bought me a tie?
Yeah, because I know that you need some ties.
No, I have real ties. That's
yes,
why I have this exact
but I
tie
always see you in the same ties. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I find you should variety.
Because let me tell you why. You see this? You see, should I buy a tie like this? You see? This is tie. Oh, sorry. Right? This is tie. This is tie. Not tie and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. This is tie. Right, good. Easy access.
No, you notice I actually
outside.
I actually tied the tie for you for that reason.
Yeah, but anyhow, thank you for the tie.
You're most welcome.
All right, nice man. Tie from Thailand. So I tell you what, there was a situation yesterday as we jump back into the, I'm gonna go to the 4-9, take 3 or 4 on this, then we'll move on to something else, take 3 and 4 on that, and move on to something else, take 3 and 4 on that, 3 or 4 calls. So we're gonna move, this is a rapid fire round. Give me the vendors upset clip. This was Charlotte Street yesterday, not yesterday, on Sunday, when Gerald Ramdeen and Jolene John went out there, and the whole thing now get political, as everything is in Trinidad and Tobago. If I go for a haircut today, and it come back and I ain't cut my hair as I usually cut it, it's because I cut it to favor some political party. You know, just politicize everything. Let me go. You understand? They go watch my pink shirt this morning and say, look, me losing confidence in the PNM. Because the red just sit, you know.
It's dying. It's dying.
You ready with it? Vendors upset. Oh, Lord. All right, Blue Sox giving a little trouble in the black.
It's about
telling you. And anytime I want to protest started, because I'm frontline.
An angry Charlotte Street vendor making it very clear how she feels about the decision by the Port of Spain mayor to have the vendors moved. This as opposition Senator Gerald Ramdeen and Deputy Leader of the UNC, Julian John, met with the Charlotte Street vendors late Sunday afternoon.
The mayor of Port of Spain needs to go back to school. Yeah. Very honest. We the vendors have common sense that we beat you long time. Yeah. We can wrap you up like a crab and sell him, you know. Be careful. That decision wasn't done by a mayor, I know. That decision was done by Parliament.
Ramdeen says the decision to move the vendors from Charlotte Street is an illegal one, and he's now taking the matter to court.
Whereby the cabinet of this country, under the late Prime Minister Manning, gave these vendors a legal right to come on Charlotte Street. All of the vendors have given instructions to commence legal action against the corporation for the unlawfulness that has taken place over the past few days by the actions of the corporation.
Ramdeen says relocating the vendors to George Street is not a practical move.
All right. So that was the Bacchanal Day Sunday. Gerald Ramdeen, Julian John, when they met with the vendors, they ain't voting for it. Anyway, they ain't going to vote for it.
Anyway, we will take it.
So, the next thing that happened, yesterday, there was a stakeholder meeting and this was the end result. Give me the vendors return. The vendors return, Blue Sox.
Boom, 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 boom.
They call them Blue Boxers.
Why? Why?
Why? No. I don't know. No? Okay. White glove.
Kid.
Right? No here.
Charlotte Street. The decision to allow the vendors back on the street came today following a meeting among the vendors and their representative attorney Gerald Ramdeen, the mayor of Port of Spain Joel Martinez, local government minister Kazim Hussain, and Port of Spain South MP Marlene MacDonald. Last week, Mayor Martinez had announced that the vendors would be moved to George Street as part of city upgrade plans. A stakeholder consultation was held following that announcement. Mr. Ramdeen maintained his clients were legally entitled to continue their business along Charlotte Street. He cited a cabinet minute in 2008 and another one in 2012 under two different administrations. But in a statement, Minister Hussain said moving forward, only registered vendors will be allowed to operate as the city corporation will be cracking down on illegal vending and it attempts to restore a sense of order to Charlotte Street. He said, too, there will be an increase in the municipal police service to ensure everyone adheres to the rules regarding vending and parking on Charlotte Street.
I'm thinking, I understand the plight.
Yes,
don't get me wrong.
I do too.
I understand the plight of the vendors. It was a sudden move. You were, expedited off of the street quickly. Now you have nowhere to apply your trade. You have families to see about. I understand that. But here is someone who is in a position of authority, who has made a decision for the city, which in turn means not just the vendors or the thing, but the entire Port of Spain area, the congestion of traffic and so forth. So what about those taxi drivers? What about the people and they who are driving, people who are looking for parking? What about me? What about if I don't want the vendors there? What about me and the other people that don't, that want to walk on the pavement? What about those who have a store who's being blocked? We have no rights either.
The most comical thing in that whole scenario there is Minister Hussain said only authorized vendors will be allowed to sell on Charlotte Street, as the city corporation will be cracking down on illegal vending. I want to see them go every day and check that. Because they go in every day and check that.
That's
and then after a while, it will become the norm again.
And everybody will be back,
will be back on Charlotte Street. Open your phone now.
I'm also curious as to how you're going to identify who is an illegal vendor from who's not. But they don't supposed to walk at the pace.
Or some kind of thing. They probably have one of them little, they must is going to apply and they get a little badge or something. I don't know.
I've never seen a vendor with a badge.
Me neither. Morning. 6229785. 628-1693. What do you think about this move to return the vendors to Charlotte Street? Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Stephan.
Good morning, dear.
And Mr. Boy.
Hi, good morning. Yes.
Well, you see, the whole thing come about because this government just always put the cart before the horse. Now, if they had done something in a proper, professional manner, it wouldn't get to this. Before you move them, get somewhere to put them before you move them. So they always creating their own monsters. And I only hope these Charlotte Street vendors will appreciate what Mr. Ramdeen and Miss Jolene John did for them. Because to be truthful, is Marlene McDonald and Fitzgerald Hines should be helping them. You understand? And some of them so ungrateful. If an election call in the morning, they'll go back and vote the PNM. You understand? I mean, it's not a right thing for them to be going back on Charlotte Street to block up the road and have the road in a mess. But it's the government to be blamed. They had a right to organize things, a place to put them before they move them. Okay. You're always doing a sort of dotishness. Okay. So that is why they have to be faced with that. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Well, I wouldn't say the government to blame. I'd say that, maybe the mayor and the city corporation erred in the way that they handled the matter. The mayor. Because he made the decision. Well,
good morning.
Yeah, but when in terms of government, I think the MP for the area made no decision there. The Prime Minister didn't have anything to do with that. The mayor took a decision because he's been appointed. And that's the thing. If you're going to bestow power onto somebody, onto somebody, then let them execute the power that you have bestowed onto them. Don't walk it back.
I understand what you're saying, but what if they made a bad decision?
Well, okay. But in moving the vendors?
I'm saying that on all. I mean, if they have the authority, they have the power, so forth and so forth. Everybody understands that.
Yeah, they're meeting.
But what if they do make a bad decision?
Well, I want to know who were the stakeholders in the meeting. If some of the businesses are actually paying rent on that street there, the stores that the vendors usually block, who does always complain. They're coming right there and they're blocking my store and this and I wonder if they were in that stakeholder meeting as well and agreed to this. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, yes, sir.
This is the game of politics. Every time you try to take a step forward, you have 10 people trying to pull you back. If you check mayors from before Louis Lee Singh, then Louis Lee Singh, Tim Key, all of them tried.
Yeah.
Okay? And, it's the same thing. You move them today, they are back tomorrow. But, Stephan, what I want to comment on, there would have been police officers at that meeting, right? With the mayor and Mr. Hussein and all of them. The lady, the very vocal lady, you notice she was wearing a camouflage top?
She was what?
She was wearing a camouflage top.
Yeah.
You noticed that?
Yeah.
Right, and that was in full view of police and army and everybody. And, the talk of the street vending, and everybody has to make a living and whatnot. And then you have Gerald Ramdeen jumping out from God knows where. I don't know why these people don't keep quiet, and let proper sense prevail.
Yeah.
Charlotte Street is a hazard, and they need to do something about it.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Yep. So we're going to again, we'll take one more on this. Charlotte Street vendors return to Port of Spain. To Charlotte Street. Morning.
Yes, Stephan voice. Morning. It looks like lawlessness in this country is prevail over everything, man. This what going on Charlotte Street remind me of the man to hold on the Picam. And when the people on the Picam start to protest the police like what they want. This is what this place reached to. Like doing the wrong thing is like it can be the right thing in this country right now.
All right. Thanks a lot. Footage here is courtesy C News, of course. You should take one more?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
one more. Check out what I was there. I was
morning.
Already? Morning, yeah.
Yeah, morning. There are Ramdeen say that Mr. Patrick Manning tell them they can vend it, so that is law. So you don't go parliament and all this kind of thing on. So a prime minister could say go ahead and do that, and that is law. So that is the reason for them to go and sell on the road. Do you understand my point? What the mayor could have done, you see on South Key, opposite Eastern Foundry, that grass they keep cutting all the time over and over. Put them there for the time being until you fix the place. And I think they in the main road, they on the main. You understand my point, And then I'm organize them. But then, it's Port of Spain, so I can do what I want. So I will move, get rid of the vendors on the thing. We don't have no vending on the pavement again.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody that's saying the police, they will move them, sing them. And someone knows a place you can walk freely. You can stand up from outside and see what standard are selling. You can think you have nobody and to study about nothing. But that's what we like. San Fernando, Port of Spain, that is what we do.
Right.
Princess Town, that is what we do. And that is the life. Have a blessed day.
Thanks a lot, man.
That was an amazing something that he put in there. What about other constituencies? Do they have this problem? Do they have where people blocking up the streets, blocking up the
well, maybe not blocking up the street, but I want to take it to the Arima market. This was the situation at the Arima market with the mayor of Arima now. Run with the Arima.
Mayor Morris Julian says the people of Arima will be put first. She says the Arima market will be cleaned and developed despite opposition by the vendors. Ian Wayson tells us more.
Just last week, the Arima Vendors Association claimed the Arima Borough was not acting in the interest of the market. Association President Junior Lewis had claimed the vendors were made to pay for smaller stalls, and the borough would redesign the layout of the stalls. But on Monday, during the borough statutory meeting, it was revealed there have been crimes in the market, and a security officer had to be hospitalized after an attack. CEO Cheryl Sergio Chong says the borough always faces opposition whenever they are trying to improve the market.
However, every time we come up with a feasible solution, it seems like the gentleman named in this letter has always agreed, and then after try to derail the whole process. I don't know why this so-called association does not want any development for the Arima market and any movement to go forward or reorganize.
Mayor Lisa Morris Julian says the market must be dealt with despite the opposition from the Vendors Association.
There's only one cause, the interest of the people of Arima. The market must be clean for the people of Arima. The chaos must stop for the people of Arima. The only interest that we are seeking is not the interest of council, but the interest of the burgesses of Arima.
The mayor is rubbishing rumors the market will be relocated. Meanwhile, according to the CEO, it requires $100,000 a month to run the market. She says dues paid by the vendors are supposed to account for $60,000, but they receive only about $20,000. The
government does pay the rest. So, you understand that? The vendors supposed to account for $60,000.
That is basically the rent and so forth and so forth.
Right. The government now will foot the rest for them to use that facility there and everything.
Right.
But they've only received $20,000.
So in other words, either somebody not paying or somebody not collecting.
They're short $40,000.
Right.
Because the vendors have arrears owing. But here you have the mayor of Arima coming to say, listen, we need to clean this market and properly develop the market.
Right.
But you're getting opposition from the vendors in the market. But you're giving opposition, but only him up to date with all the fees. Whether it's rent or whatever it is, all you have to pay. Only him up to date with it. It's out of the 60, only him paying half.
Yeah, true.
And that there is a perfect example of what is going to happen on Charlotte Street when they talk about properly monitoring the situation. Properly monitor what?
If you can't even collect your own fees, right? How are you going to manage people who you don't even know?
All you can even properly manage, all you can even properly ensure that money is paid in rent. People owing rent, arrears. Right now they put up, they also, that another part of that story where the mayor said they were in the process of developing a program where they could pay to suit their pocket to bring up the arrears now.
Right.
But this is the thing, all you're owing.
And still.
As far as I'm concerned, if you're owing, hush your mouth. Move out the way and let the people do the thing. Because at the end of the day, in the absence of your payments, the government has been footing the bill, so they have the majority say. So if they say clean and develop the market, you can't get them no opposition for that. Take 2 calls quick. And we'll go to the break. Listen, Arima, this was yesterday.
This is it.
Nothing against the vendors.
But why wouldn't you?
But right had to be right and wrong had to be wrong.
If you're selling produce and this is basically fresh produce, why wouldn't you want your area clean? Why wouldn't you want to develop and come up to something fresh and new?
They want to relocate them, so like they want to get them out of the facility. Look, rubbish that just look.
You have to remember to where Arima Market has been. Where Arima Market has been, it's like a landmark.
Okay, so they want to clean it, right? But they want to clean and develop it.
But you must understand, it's like you have the perfect store in the perfect location, and then somebody comes and tells you you're paying your rent. Let's just say for those who are. You're paying your rent, you have a nice little thing going on, and then somebody comes and tells you, you know what? I want to move you from here to down here, to a place that perhaps
but that's not what they say.
The traffic is slow.
I know, but that's not what they say. I understand where you're coming from. Morning. But that's not what they say. They're not looking at
Mr. Stephan.
Morning.
Mr. Boyce.
Good morning, sir.
I just want to develop the thing.
Well, I really called earlier to talk about the Charlotte Street issue, you know.
But the what?
Charlotte Street
thing.
Yeah, but the same vending thing, you know.
Yeah, I came across the article. Charlotte Street vendors get an apology in which the mayor say that he didn't consult with them in proving them in George Street. But the decision still stands. This is last week. I am truthful to the fact that I didn't consult with the vendors at the end when the decision was taken. And the first people that I met with when I became mayor of Port of Spain was the members of the administrative team of the Vendors Association, and we were discussing the chaos on Charlotte Street, and the vendors knew what the city had to do. Let us first apologize to the Vendors Association for not consulting with them when we decided to take the decision at the end to relocate them to George Street.
Right.
So the whole thing, the problem I have and the problem I can see is that consultation didn't occur. Mr. Martinez and whoever say the decision still stands. This is last week, obviously. So the process by which to remove them, you know, it wasn't a democratic one. They didn't consult to the people. Now, everybody has issues how Charlotte Street is, the condition it's in. I suspect if they go in back there to vend, everybody should clean up the spot, have a clean scene. You know, the rubbish should pass, but vending on the whole should be on a street with no vehicular traffic. You understand? Like chaos, you seen it there on all the screens right now. Like chaos. You can have cars up and down a street and people vending in the street. Somebody, God forbid, will get an accident or bounce the foot, some car will bounce somebody's stall or some kind of thing. You understand? But Mr. Martinez say in the end that he reversed the decision because the property they want to put them in, it didn't prepare for them. We already showed the property already. It's bush and rubbish and all kind of thing. So if they want to move the people, no fine, no problem, move them to a place that exists.
Right.
They come to a place that don't exist, then going away.
Right.
So they went about it the wrong way. And the man who called us, momentarily ago and said the former Prime Minister said to go and vend this to the law. I was surprised to know that ACA Parliament passed in the Parliament, give them rights to vend it. I didn't know that. I go pass in Parliament, giving them people rights to vend it. And if they're paying a rent, whoever paying a rent for a spot, they have some rights. You can't take away that from the people and them, but the whole process went the wrong way. Understand? Have a good morning.
Yeah, man. Have a good morning. Somebody was also bringing about the two great points. Okay, so the vendors and they are picking up the space on the streets. What about delivery trucks? I have a business. I have to get a delivery truck inside. There's no place in my truck to stop and park. The trucks now have to go on another street to park. And what is happening? There was just the other day, the delivery truck. So Doma was talking about the fact that every time a delivery truck parks on a street, they wreck the trucks as well too. They reckon delivery trucks, they reckon cars. If I have a car and I want to park, I have parking on Charlotte Street. It has places where you can park on Charlotte Street, which is now being occupied by vendors. So now I can't park, they have to find some other place to park. I park someplace else, my car gets wrecked. $500 is out of my pocket, plus transportation to get there, because you're picking up the parking space. You're picking up the parking space. Okay. A delivery truck can deliver, it's good to he has to park all the way down the road and then walk up the road. The person is saying that now he's a delivery truck driver. He says they get robbed because now they have to take the goods out of the thing, and whereas they would have been right next to the store and deliver, they now have to park lower down the street and walk with the goods in their hand. They are now unscrupulous people who know this and wait for them, and they rob them. But the vendors are okay. Y'all are okay. There are people losing business because of y'all picking up the street. Something better has to be done. Yeah. We understand your plight, but something better has to be done. Either you condemn Charlotte Street as a street for traffic and leave the vendors there, or you remove the vendors and make it a regular street. This is the heart of the city. Something is wrong. Yeah. The mayor has a good idea. He may have went about it wrong, you know.
But that's what has to be done.
He has a good idea.
On the right track, but we'll see how it goes in the future. We got to take a break. When we come back, laptops, boy.
This June, we on the Harbour Master C3 Marina.
Boy, them fellas is real Junes. That boat right looking good, boy. Yeah. You get tickets for that, boy? I know, that should have called and see they could do. And what fella, you know. Whoa! I'm looking for tickets for breaking down Cooler Cruise, boy. What you can do for me? I mean, they can't get no tickets. Alright. Nah, boy. See if you could call a friend of mine. Hello? Yeah, you. What's that? You could get tickets for breaking down Cooler Cruise? Nah, don't tell me that now. Alright, cool. Nah, boy, fresh out.
Don't worry. I added in.
Breaking Dawn the Cooler Cruise, June 17th. Link up with any committee member to get your tickets now. Visit us on Facebook at Breaking Dawn the Cooler Cruise.
What's your hand? I don't know he. I'm spinning.
This ad brought to you by Hennessy, Ciroc, and Signs Are Us.
Vigorfort Male Formula is a powerful, all-natural scientific guaranteed formulation for increased performance, stamina, sensual energy during intimacy for men. Available at leading pharmacies and online at tntdrugstore.com.
Hey, have you heard of the Daryl's famous food 3 T's? The 3 T's? Yes, at every Daryl's famous food location. Come get Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Daryl's famous food. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Thai and fries for $10 on a Tuesday. Daryl's famous food. Yes, at every Daryl's famous food outlet, come and get a Thai and fries for $10 every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. This is a limited time offer. sorry, but sorry can't heal my wounds, baby. Make the bass line roll and catch. I'm in love how the rhythm just a tap. Me, I'm a woman a rock. Give me little one drop. You spend all that money on your watch. How much time you spend with your son? So much money in the club. How much you spend with the ones you love? The simple things are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, your blessing. Simple things are your blessing. And you don't notice your blessings. You pick you with the shoes by your feet.
We're celebrating Mom this Mother's Day at Bright Ideas. Get 10 to 50% off selected items store-wide. 25% off decorative ornaments and clocks. 25% off chandeliers. 50% off flowers. 10% off houseware items. Plus, 32-inch flat screen TVs, $14.99. 18-inch fans, $1.99. And $99 specials on mini appliances. Also get great gift ideas from Homedic products to comforter sets. Sale runs until May 13th. Bright Ideas. 8 convenient locations, bringing happiness home.
Yeah, so we're back on the inside, and we wanna deal with this laptop situation. 22 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. But before we go forward, Daniel was just mentioning on the side here, because Daniel here this morning. It was incompetence on the mayor part, because he went about it the wrong way, and now he put himself in a position where Ramdi now could come refer to the legislation that Manning passed, the late Patrick Manning, in terms of all the vendors, Savannah and otherwise paying the tax. And he's put things in place. So, in light of what the mayor did, he was wrong, because he removed them wrongfully, illegally. But so the mayor needs to do his homework, and that's correct.
And I think that is the major part of it. The fact that he.
So Ramdin actually correct.
Yeah, he actually jumped the gun. He moved too fast. Great idea, but
Ramdin do what any good lawyer does do.
Bad movement.
He said, check that law there.
I could get in.
Oh, let me go talk to the vendors.
I could get in.
But anyway, we'll see how all of that rolls out and how that materializes. In the meantime, laptops. You remember that the laptop return, everybody returning. This is the return
Tuesday
of the Jedi morning. This Star Wars.
Something is good, it's always good. This is the reaction of opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bissessar to the announcement that a contract has been awarded for the supply of laptops for secondary schools and educational institutions. The school's laptop program was discontinued by government in 2015, but the opposition leader says she's wary of government's promises.
Many times we have heard things being said and we don't see it implemented, we don't see it happen. As I always say, I'm still waiting to see the Galleon's passage arrive. It keeps pushing back and back and back and back. So I'll be really happy when that happens, when I can see the children actually with the laptops in their hands. It's a great move.
Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar says the program was meant to put all students on an equal footing, and the decision to stop the laptop distribution program for Form 1 students was unfortunate.
Duncy had children and so on, those were his comments. And in that entire fight, you were talking about people steal it, and their criticisms really were totally unjustified. Because, whilst the rich and famous could afford these computers, laptops and so on, it was the poor children, who always remain disadvantaged.
Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar was at the St. Dominic's Roman Catholic School, where she distributed stationery supplies to students writing the exam on Thursday. She's encouraging all SEA students to remain hopeful.
But I think the most important thing, when you go in, and of course before you go, but when you go into that classroom to write your exam, is to remember God, to put God in front. We agree? Yes, and you pray, and you stay very calm.
Tomorrow, Education Minister Anthony Garcia is expected to give more details about the $50 million contract for the provision of the devices. The government intends to use the same company contracted by the People's Partnership government. When something is good,
how our sealers go? Listen, all the listeners are that properly. These people come in 2016. In 2015, but I seen August 27, 2016. Yeah. Pupils who will be entering Form 1 in secondary schools in a new school term, which opens on September 5th, will face disappointment as they will not be receiving free personal laptops from the government. Instead, the government, in revamping the laptop distribution program, will seek to equip 50 high-quality laptops per school. This was revealed by Education Minister Anthony Garcia during a press conference at the Ministry of Education in St. Clair. Good? Garcia said that the new policy was a major departure from the practice of the former government, the People's Partnership Government, which a study conducted showed was wasteful and counterproductive. Okay. Garcia disclosed that 12,600 laptops will be purchased for use by Form 1 and Form 2 students. Of that, 6,300 will be for the use of Form 1, 6,300 Form 2s. 50 laptops will be used by Form 1s in each secondary school, and they would not be given a personal laptop, but rather the laptops will be as property of the schools. Garcia also disclosed that internet access in the schools will be upgraded and blah, 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 ICT and whatever. Anyhow, he said, when asked about how much money the government will be saving now that the program has been revamped, Garcia said approximately 30 million a year. He claimed that under the previous government, a laptop cost between 12 to 15,000. And under the new initiative, it will only cost the government $4,135.79 each. That makes no sense.
None.
Because if I'm buying in bulk,
could never be
it
that
could
much.
never cost 12 to 15,000.
Never.
Not those kind of laptops they will bring.
No, no, no.
And if you say you buying less and high quality too,
and you getting it for less money now.
$4,135.75.
That's a big minus, huh?
I think
something wrong there.
Anybody who you throw those figures at would ask you if you went to school on Sunday.
But he did.
He said that the overall cost of the revamp program will be to the tune of 62 million, as opposed to the last government spending in excess of 500 million on the same initiative. So here I want to find it. All you come in 2018 now to bring back a laptop program that always stopped because it was wasteful and counterproductive under the last administration. And by all means, if we've learned anything from September 2015 to now, is all your management skills. I'll leave that
right there.
I'll leave that for the public to decide.
Right there.
Right? Because Lord knows management is right? So it was wasteful and counterproductive. Not only are you all bringing it back in the same fashion, well, we'll wait to hear what he has to say and give more details, but you're using the same company that the last administration used. So if that company, a laptop was costing 12 to 15,000 in 2014, 13, 12, and we're in 2018 now, I wonder how much a laptop costing through that same company now. If what you're saying here is accurate.
But you say you're getting it for 4,000?
No, he said under the new initiative that they implemented in 2016. But if they're going back in 2018 now to the same company that was charging the former administration 12 to 15,000 a laptop, and it was coming up to 500 million, is the same company all using? But then again, all the management skills so great. Who knows? We might end up paying 24,000 for one laptop. You understand? Next year, the laptop program end up like the Sea Bridge. And September come and they say, don't worry, the laptops will be here. They come on the Galleon Passage. Open the phone line for me.
Must he come in on the passage?
No, but I mean, putting all kicks aside, I mean,
for real though.
Realistically, you all are spinning top in mud. Morning.
Morning, Stephan.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Boys.
Yeah, morning.
Coming back to the laptop. I just bought a laptop for 2005. Top of the line laptop. So if they buy a laptop in bulk, it's supposed to cost them a little over $1,000 for a laptop. As one.
Right.
You go back to the vendors on Charlotte Street and all over Trinidad and Tobago. For the last 20 years, you read the newspaper, same thing happened. They protest, they put them back. 3, and this is the important one, the valuation division has begun to visit people's houses to evaluate their property. They in Tunapuna this morning. I want to give the public a heads up. Get your papers ready.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Now, in response to that $12,000 to $15,000 figure per unit, good, that was put out there, the opposition did respond in 2016, and Tim Gopi Singh said altogether we would have spent $250 million for the five-year period. We, through the Central Tenders Board, in the first year, purchased a unit for $4,200. And by 2015, we were purchasing per laptop at $2,200. For those laptops that we were bringing, in the bulk we were buying at, that figure sounds correct.
That sounds much better.
I know where Garcia and them get 12,000 to 15,000 from. Morning.
Hi, morning guys. How are you?
Yeah,
morning. Good, thanks.
Just going back to the Galleon's passage. Do you guys remember when Mr. Imberti had a press conference and he was down talking to the reporter about he tracking it via a paid program and that kind of thing?
Yes.
It's now the end of April. Where is the boat?
Well, I don't know. It probably making circles wrong. Me, I know it must be reaching. It must be circling the Bermuda Triangle and go get lost eventually. I don't know.
No, I would like you to call a press conference now and talk about it because this is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense.
What's the last thing they said? By the end of May or the middle of May?
Well, I remember the last conference that I followed up with him he was saying at the end of April. All the he don't talk to the reporter. The end of April, ma'am.
They said by April.
Nothing now.
Then they said by Easter weekend. Then they said by the end of April, by the middle of April. Then they said by the end of April. The boat's still coming. All right, yeah.
Incompetent people.
Christmas and Carnival coming too. Eid, Diwali, everything. It's coming. August holidays coming. SEA coming Thursday. SEA go reach before the boat.
But oh gosh, we don't know that already.
Yeah. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Oh no, we don't have anyone on that.
All right. Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Morning to you. Yeah.
Good morning, Stephan and Mr. Voice. Why are you all so for?
Why are we so what?
The people went to school in August, not on Sundays. And I would love to have a P&M calculator like that.
It had to be. Because none of the figures add up.
No,
at least what it is he's saying.
And you see, it's when you go back, right, and you backtrack, and you go back to stories like this, and you hear why they stopped whatever, what statements they made, and they come now and make a full circle to come back and end back up in the same position that they were in 2015, then you know that either one or two things. They don't know what they're doing, or they just suffer you for spite. And I told you, I'm telling you.
That's a dread statement.
I'm saying it because let me tell you why. I told you all at the start of this last year, late last year, when I say you know how we'll know if the government had money or not. Wait till middle of this year. I said that. Wait till the middle of 2018. You know why? By the middle of 2018, everybody know how to start a position themselves. You're talking about half the term done, and you're going into the second half of your term. And in the second half of your term now, you have to start to position yourself to regain public confidence.
So time to butter the rolls there.
Right. So time to put some butter on the bread, some ice in the glass, some cheese on the pie, you know, some sauce in the meat.
Time to prep everything, yeah.
Time to start prepping.
Because the guests are coming.
Right, because you're going to need votes soon. So you want to start building up a momentum from now. So by the time the election bell ring, and that's why I keep telling the opposition, don't feel as I walk in, because this Trinidad and Tobago all living in. This way they could suffer you for 10 days, feed you for 1,
and everybody's
them for 100 days.
That's right.
That. You understand?
That's right.
By middle of this year, you're going to know. Middle to the end of this year, you will know, because lo and behold, 2019 is right there. And after 2019, it's 2020. So slowly but surely, you're going to see them start to say, we saved the economy. The economy start to improve. That talk don't start already, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that talk don't start already. The economy improve, but people didn't start to get back to work yet, but the talk start already. So as they start to talk about the economy start to improve, and we've been able to do this, and through our management, we are able to accomplish this, and now we could give all you back this, and now we could give all you back that.
They'll show you where the plummet was, and then they're going to show you this is how we're going to take you up. We're going to take you all the way up.
Yeah, take our call, take our call.
But Lord,
everything under that last administration they go bring back and put back there. What's something?
They said the last thing they said about the boat was in Mexico and then Panama. Mexico and Panama, that's not like right there.
Morning, Abel, I hear you so. We hear you.
Morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Charlotte Street thing is going to make Marlene look good, you know.
Make who look good?
Marlene, what do you want?
You like to make Marlene look good. Marlene McDonald has to look good for election. This Charlotte Street thing is going to make she look good.
No, Marlene, no.
But Marlene do.
Marlene is part of the team.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but that making Marlene look good.
I'll leave Marlene alone.
No. Long Marlene, she don't come back.
Marlene have enough headache when she come back, but she'll share the communication.
She don't come back. It's your breeze.
Alright, yeah, but cool. But, yeah, man. Alright, we're going to take a break. We're 7 minutes away from the hour video. We're going to take a break and come back and wrap up. But just think about that. Think about these little things and make a decision when the time comes. We're not going to sit here and tell you what decision to make.
Never.
We're just here to point it out. Hey, don't forget this.
Don't forget that.
And don't forget that. While all this going on here, all that still happen.
On the sidelines.
And then you just wait out. Yeah, you wait out. You weigh your options. You think about it. And then you make your decision of your own free will and admission. We're not here to say, go and vote for that one or go and vote for the other one. That's not what it's like. That's not what it's about. Alright? So we'll be back after this to wrap things up. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then the place you're looking for is Caribbean Tourist Villa, conveniently located at number 7 Methuen Street, Port of Spain, Trinidad, and fully equipped with cable TV and internet. Whether you're looking for that personal escape or it's you and friends, we're here to accommodate you in our air-conditioned rooms. So call us at 627-5423 or 624-6702 to make your booking today. And did I tell you about the pool? So come see for yourself. Caribbean Tourist Villa. It is definitely your home away from home.
The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Your original one-stop school shop. Your #1 choice for the widest variety of top quality stationery, school books and bags, school shoes and socks, and ready-made uniform. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited is also authorized retailers for a wide range of top brand name products. They're also the home for Sebastian school shirts and pants. Quality you can depend on for generations. And nobody, I mean nobody beats their prices. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited, with 2 locations to serve you. #1, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro. Telephone 644-BOOK. That's 644-2665. And #3, Guaguari Road, Mayaro. Phone 630-BOOK or 630-2665. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Ready to serve you because you are an exceptional customer that deserves exceptional quality, price, and service.
Shinsin seasoning products have been flavoring all of TNT's local cuisine since 1982. Shinsin introduces its No MSG line of products. Now you can use No MSG chicken seasoning, No MSG all-purpose seasoning, and No MSG poultry seasoning. Shinsin seasoning products are available in all leading supermarkets nationwide. Shinsin, same quality, great taste.
Yeah, man. I just have a message here I have to read. She's right. Laptops can even be had in bulk from most suppliers for even under $1,000. I also think that these contracts should be broken up between the many small contractors. This will help the many suffering small business suppliers survive, and there are over 100 small business supplying computer services and are in need of an injection of revenue. We seem to be back to the cartel mentality where one contractor get all and the 1%, if you know what I mean. This is a comment from one of our viewers.
That is a beautiful comment.
And that's
I sense.
That sense. You have so many computer suppliers. Why not give it out and give everybody a little bit? Because if the partnership administration is saying it costs them $250 million for the 5 years in the laptop program. Now I think it may have been a little more than that. But what I'm saying, you're talking about $250 million potentially going to one contractor. When you could split it up and this one could get 10 million, this one could get 10 million, that one could get 10 or 15 or whatever.
You inject money back into the system. You inject money back inside.
See, all this stifling economy given this one company.
Exactly. You know it have schools in South, you hire a contractor in South to deal with South section. You want to deal with East and so forth and so forth.
Somebody say I agree, but don't forget the past, Garcia failed maths. Okay. There's a comment here from one of our
How these people get this information?
I don't know that. Maths, he failed maths. I doubt he failed maths, okay? Alright, let's see what else we have on social media before we wrap things up. When he was a woodwork teacher. What they say? No, I'm breaking on page before we close.
We actually had a comment that someone says that how, oh gosh, now the man name pop out of my head.
Somebody said Trinidad people will give a vote for anything. Yeah, you get them a jersey to vote for you.
That's Alex. Maxi Coffee, they say Maxi Coffee. The Guardian Passage may be here before Maxi Coffee?
The laptop program come back before Maxi Coffee. We can't see Maxi Coffee yet, but come September, children go see our laptop. Ain't that amazing? I wonder how long again we had to wait on Maxi Coffee. He was supposed to be here since when? I want to be in the airport when he arrives, but they will probably bring him back. He must be in the country already and nobody you know. Could be all of that too.
The only time you might see him is when he walks into the parliament.
Walks into the parliament? I don't think he's going to end up there. I don't think he's in parliament.
Wow.
Alright, so I tell you what.
You just...
No, I don't think he's going to walk into parliament again. I don't think he should be in parliament. That job is going to be too stressful for him. So I'm telling you what, we got to wrap things up.
After 2 strokes.
Remember, Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise is on. Go to the Breaking Dawn Cooler Cruise page on Facebook and get the information as to where you can get your tickets. You have to call. I'll deliver the tickets to you personally. Alright, I have to come Princess Town. So if all you know, I'll come in Princess Town tomorrow morning. If all you know all the tickets are not in that area, please contact me today. Alright, because I don't want to be going 2 and 3 times. I also have to go south to drop some tickets as well sometime during the week as well. So don't be too quick to believe everything you hear since live, Shall the Fascinating Truth.
And always remember to aim for the moon, because if you shouldn't miss, you're still going to be amongst the stars. See each and every one on the social. Thank you and bye-bye.